My husband went home to enjoy a $50 raise, and my boss and I went to the most expensive hotel in town to celebrate our acquaintance. He ordered the champagne. I wore the red dress. And when the elevator doors closed behind us, I knew this night wouldn't end with a simple goodnight. It's funny how one moment can tilt your entire life off its axis and still feel inevitable. But I'm getting ahead of myself. My name is Claire. I'm 38 years old, married for 14 of them, and I know what disappointment smells like. It's faint, like cologne that's faded into fabric, but you can still detect it if you stay quiet long enough. That's how I lived for years. In the silence. In the space between who we were and who we pretended to be. My husband, Ryan, is a good man. Steady. Reliable. Underpaid. He has a habit of chewing his thumb when he's nervous and forgetting my birthday when work gets busy. He calls me babe, even when I'm furious, like that word alone should be enough to soften me. And for a long time, it was. But time has a way of hardening soft things. That night, we were celebrating his promotion. A small one, a title change, and a modest raise that barely covered inflation. But to Ryan, it was a win. He'd been chasing validation for years. Late nights, weekend calls, managers who piled on tasks without thanks. And when it finally happened, he wanted to celebrate big. So he made a reservation at a restaurant we couldn't afford. He borrowed a suit from a friend. And I put on the red dress I hadn't worn since our 5th anniversary, the one that used to make his eyes light up. This time, he didn't say anything about the dress. But someone else did. Daniel Crane, Senior Vice President, my husband's boss. The man whose signature had just altered the trajectory of Ryan's career, and mine, though he didn't know it yet. I noticed him the moment we walked in. Not because he stood out, Daniel was too polished for that. He blended in the way money does, subtle, controlled, effortless. His tie matched the wine, his laugh was low and sparse, and his eyes scanned like they were trained for weakness. When our eyes met, I felt a static spark. Not attraction. Recognition. It was the way you look at someone and know, instinctively, that they see past what others ignore. That they see past your smile. He was seated across from us at the long table reserved for executives and their guests. When he pulled out a chair beside him for me, Ryan grinned like it was a favor. "It's fine, babe," he whispered. "Go ahead. Make connections." As if that was all it would be. I'd barely touched my glass when Daniel topped it off again. No comment. Just a slow pour, eyes still on me. "Long day?" he asked. I nodded, unsure how to respond. He smiled. "You wear tension like jewelry. It suits you." I laughed nervously. That's the first time anyone said that. Then no one's been honest. And just like that, he pierced the veil. One sentence. That was all it took. Not flirtation. Not compliment. Observation. Dinner was endless. Toasts. Stories. Jokes that weren't funny. Ryan's voice rising with every drink, trying to impress the room. I sat still, polished, polite, a trophy on display. And the entire time, I felt Daniel watching me. Not leering. Not undressing. Just seeing. The way someone studies a painting to find what the artist meant to hide. Ryan excused himself to take a call. The room thinned. The jazz from the lounge below drifted into the private hall. Daniel stood up, adjusted his cufflinks, and offered his hand. "Walk with me." I should have said no. I said yes. We strolled through the hotel's art gallery, a sleek corridor lined with oversized abstract canvases and quiet lighting. Daniel stopped in front of one particularly chaotic piece. "Do you like it?" he asked. I tilted my head. "I don't understand it." "That's the point." He turned to me. "Sometimes confusion is more honest than clarity." I looked at him. "And what are you confused about?" He took a step closer. "Whether I should say what I'm thinking." "And what is that?" "That you're the only woman in this room who doesn't belong to someone else." "Not really." My breath caught. I wanted to argue, to defend myself. But the truth was, I hadn't felt like I belonged to anyone in years. And that scared me more than anything he could have said. As we reached the elevator, he held the door open for me. "I have a bottle upstairs," he said quietly. If you want to keep pretending this night is about your husband. I stared at him. My heart pounded. My fingers twitched. I should go, I whispered. I know. He didn't press. Didn't plead. Just handed me a black envelope. No writing. No logo. Anytime, he said. The door closed between us. I got into Ryan's car with hands shaking. He didn't notic. I stepped into the suite with legs that didn't feel like mine. Daniel closed the door behind me, and for a brief second, the silence pressed in heavy, warm, loaded. He didn't speak. Neither did I. The room smelled of leather and soft cologne, dimly lit, curtains pulled. He walked past me without a glance, poured us each a drink, and held one glass out like it was part of some ancient ritual. For you, he said. I took it, not because I needed it, but because I needed something to hold on to. The moment, the air changed. It wasn't rushed. There was no desperation. Just slow, deliberate. He moved like someone who'd done this before, and I followed like someone who hadn't been touched in years. There was no music playing, just the sound of breath, clothes falling, and whatever wall inside me finally cracking. Time folded over itself. And at the height of everything, the moment of no return, I heard something. A faint buzz. A chime. Daniel's phone. It had fallen off the edge of the nightstand, screen lit. For a moment, we froze. Then I saw it. Ryan. Video call. Ongoing. 6 seconds. 8. 12. And then the screen went black. He had seen it. He had watched. And he had ended the call. I scrambled out from the bed like it was on fire. My heart slammed in my chest. Was that? I couldn't finish the sentence. Daniel picked up the phone, stared at the call log, his face unreadable. He called me. I stared at him. Why would he? Maybe he meant to. Maybe he didn't. But he saw. My hands trembled. You think he knew before tonight? Daniel didn't answer. He didn't need to. I left without looking back. I drove like I was being chased. By guilt, by shame, by the ghost of my husband's silence. When I got home, the house was dark. His car was gone. But the front door was unlocked. And on the table, his wedding ring. That was all. No note. No text. Just silence. For 3 days, I didn't hear from him. I called. I begged. I cried into voicemail. Nothing. Then the messages started. From unknown numbers. Photos. Of me. Screenshots from the video call. Clothes. Faces. Me. I thought he'd just disappear. I thought he'd mourn and move on. I was wrong. Ryan didn't vanish. He planned. The next time I saw Daniel, he looked different. Pale. Distracted. He told me someone had emailed his board of directors. Anonymous. With photos. With timestamps. With names. Daniel was asked to step away for internal review. He blamed me with his eyes, but he didn't say it out loud. Because deep down, he knew we'd both played a game and someone else had won. I found Ryan in a cafe a week later. He looked fine, clean-shaven, calm, like a man who'd finally put down a heavy load. He didn't flinch when he saw me. Just sipped his coffee, eyes steady. You could have screamed, I said. You could have fought. He nodded, but that wouldn't have hurt enough. I swallowed. So this was about revenge? He smiled. No, it was about watching you undo yourself. Then he stood, dropped a folded paper on the table, signed divorce papers, and walked out. Daniel never recovered. The investigation didn't uncover anything concrete, but the scandal stained his reputation. He resigned 2 months later. He texted me once. We burned everything, didn't we? I didn't reply. I live alone now. Same house. Same red dress, hanging in the closet like a ghost. Sometimes I sit by the window at night, remembering the sound of my husband's ring hitting the table. Clean. Final. And louder than any scream I've ever heard.